There are people around you right now who quietly want you to fail. Not because you hurt them, not because you wronged them in any way, they just do. And the strange part is, you can feel it. You can't always name it. You can't always prove it. But something in you knows. The energy shifts when you walk in. The smiles last a second too long. The conversations get a little too careful. You've told yourself it's jealousy. Maybe part of it is. But jealousy fades. What these people carry doesn't fade. It deepens. The more you grow, the more you evolve, the more you step into who you actually are, the worse it gets. So here's the question nobody asks. What if it's not about what you did? What if it's about what you represent to them? What if the person you're becoming is the exact thing they can't stand looking at? Let's talk about what's really happening. The first reason, your peace is a problem for people who have none. When you've done the internal work, when you've stopped chasing every person who withholds approval, when you've learned to sit with discomfort without falling apart, you carry a different energy. People feel it before you say a word. Psychology calls this emotional contagion. When someone grounded walks into a room, every nervous system in that room responds. And if your internal world is chaotic, that groundedness doesn't feel comforting. It feels threatening. Not because that person said anything, but because their peace is a mirror held up to your war. This is why your silence gets misread as coldness. This is why your stillness makes certain people furious. You're not provoking anyone, you're just being yourself. But to someone at war with themselves, that's enough. The second reason, your movement forces them to defend their stillness. Watch what happens the moment you start showing up differently, the moment you stop settling. The moment your choices start reflecting who you actually want to be, something shifts, the warmth cools, the energy turns competitive even when nothing is being competed for. When someone in your circle begins to grow, everyone watching makes a quiet internal decision. Either they get inspired or they get resentful. The ones who have convinced themselves that change is impossible cannot afford for you to succeed, because your success answers a question they've been running from. If you could do it, what's their excuse? So they reframe your growth. They say you changed. They say you think you're better now. They'll say anything that keeps them comfortable in their own stagnation. Your growth is not the problem. Their avoidance of it is. The third reason, your realness makes their performance collapse. Most people are not living. They're performing happiness in rooms where they feel empty, performing confidence around people who intimidate them, performing agreement in conversations that go against everything they believe. Then you walk in and you're not performing. You don't laugh when nothing is funny. You don't agree just to be liked. And without a single word, you make everyone else's act visible. Authenticity creates pressure. When one person is fully real in a room full of masks, the masks feel heavier. So instead of removing the mask, they remove you. They call you too intense, too difficult, too much. What they mean is that you make pretending harder, and they'd rather lose you than lose the performance keeping them safe. Here's what you need to hold on to. If nobody is ever uncomfortable around you, ask yourself honestly, are you being real or are you just being easy? Genuine living creates friction. Not because you're trying to, but because truth and illusion cannot comfortably share the same space. Stop explaining yourself to people who are never genuinely curious. Stop adjusting for rooms that only wanted a quieter version of you. But hear this clearly. This is not permission for coldness. This is not isolation dressed as strength. Stay grounded. Stay kind. Let the wrong people misread you. Your clarity does not require their agreement. The same energy that unsettles the wrong people attracts the right ones. Quietly, genuinely, without conditions. You don't need the approval of everyone in the room. You need the alignment of the person in the mirror. So if people have a problem with you and you can't figure out why, stop searching, stop replaying, stop shrinking to solve a mystery that was never yours to solve. You didn't fail them. Your existence simply made their unfinished business impossible to ignore. That is not your burden. Some seasons will feel lonely, not because the world abandoned you, but because you chose honesty in spaces built on pretending. That loneliness is not a sign you got it wrong. It's a sign you're finally getting it right. Sit with it, build in it, become unmovable in it. When you stop needing the world to approve of you, the world loses its grip on you. What remains will be real, solid, entirely yours. Thank you for watching. If this hit something real, share it with someone who needs to hear it, leave a comment, and subscribe. More truth is coming.